Good morning. Is it working? I didn't click the right buttons, I don't think. I was too busy daydreaming. Come on in. Let me know that the sound is working. Stuart, if you're in the building already, good morning. Could you do me a favour and just let me know that the sound is good? Because I was daydreaming. Yay! Adam! Woo! Nice to have you with us, Adam Humphreys. Well, we've got a celebrity in the building. What can I say? Good to have your company, Adam. Who else we got? Oh, come on, Janet. Come on, Penny. They're all in the building. Lovely to have your company. It's cloudy today with blue skies peeping through, which is what we're going to learn to draw. Okay? Come on in. Hello, Anne from Watford. It's a funny old day today. I woke up really early. Went to bed really early. So, you know, works like that. Anxious. Woke up anxious. So what do you do when you're anxious? Well, what do I do when I'm anxious? I drink a cup of tea. And then what I started doing was you control the controllable. So I'd sorted out all my pencils. I put all my pencils in the right order because they were everywhere, right? So I went to the back, because on the back, you see, it shows you which ones you're supposed to have and which order they're in. So that's what I did. I did those, and that worked, but not quite. So then I thought, right, okay, keep it going, Gray. So then I did these, which I find the pergoline is easier because they're numbered. So that was far more soothing. And do you know what? By the time I'd sorted all my pencils out, not only had I cleared the decks, but I also felt a lot better for it. So just little things, isn't it? Just little things. Sound is good, says Stuart. Bingo. Come on in. Let's get on with these blue tits today. Actually, we're in the sky today, aren't we? That'll be good. How are you anyway? What about me? How are you? You're all right? Be okay. This too shall pass and all that. We just have to control the controllable. Just do what we can. You know what we were talking about yesterday? It works. It does. Some days are good, and we have good days and we have growing days, don't we? Mine started out as a growing day, and I thought, well, I don't want to go careering off down that road, the doom and gloom. So I was like, rewind, bring it back to the crossroads, sort out a few pencils, and now I'm back on track again. If that's all I have to do, that'll do me. So come on in. What's the time? Let's have a look. It is 2 minutes to 10. I always like to get here early just in case. Sounds good. Everybody's here. Hi, Elizabeth. How are you today? I hope you're all right. I hope that your husband is okay. If I remember rightly, I saw that you're struggling at the moment. I hope that everything is okay, Elizabeth. Right. Come on then. So I thought today what we'd do is, see, as soon as I start, it gets warm in here. I'll open the window in a minute. Before we begin, let's have a look. 1 minute, 2. Come on in, grab a seat. Have you got your tea? Have you got your coffee? How's the diet going? I've lost 5 pounds. It feels better. It feels better. At least I can do my jeans up. So I was thinking today, what we're going to do, nearly 10 o'clock. I don't want to start because I know that some people don't turn up till 10, and then they think it's like turning the telly on halfway through a film, isn't it? Think you missed something. Well, you haven't really missed much at all. Right, you ready? I had to laugh. On Facebook you were talking about only the crumb. This is a microphone. Or the flake. Do you remember? Cool, that was funny. So many of you related to that yesterday. The mind is a weird thing, isn't it? Hey, 1 minute you're doing your blue tits and you're focusing on your nuts in the feeder, and then the next minute, boom, you're transported back 50 years to a really suggestive ad that, that sells chocolate. Yeah. We're very lucky to have brains like this, aren't we? Right, it's 10 o'clock. Good morning. Come on in. Welcome to the SHAC. Safe, happy and creative. Stay home and craft. That's right. And today I think we're going to finish up our blue tit skies. I think they've really, some of your artwork, no, not some, all of the artwork that I've seen on Clarity Worldwide has just been beautiful. Absolutely, you should be so proud. So let's just have a look at where we're going. We're nearly finished now. We've done all the birds. We did the nutshell hazelnut. We did the flowers. And now we're going to do that sky. And when you, and let me just move it in slowly. Right, and you'll see that it's not blue, it's kind of blues and peaches. Sort of mottled, yeah, rather than clear blue skies. I thought it would be nicer to try something different. So that's where we're going today. We'll give that a go. And but before we start that, I thought we'd talk about what we're going to start tomorrow. And the only reason I'm saying this is because you're going to need a couple of digi-downloads. We've done them, we've created them for you, and Stuart's in the building. So what he's going to do, we've got different choices here, because he's going to help you. So I thought I'd talk about it now so that you know, so you've got Stuart to ask. Okay, so let me show you what it is. I'm going to tell you where we're going, what bus we're getting on tomorrow. I think it'll be a fun one because we're going to put the blue tits to bed. They're in the nest now, and tomorrow we're going to start on something completely different. So I was thinking, because we had on Hochanda at the weekend, we had the lovely baubles. You know the baubles that I drew? And so, you know, I was thinking, where should we go next? What should we do next? And lots of you have been talking about, oh, I'd like to get me Christmas going and blah, blah, blah. And I thought, why don't we just combine everything? And then I said, I know, I've got it. I have it. Let's make snowflakes and let's do stars. You know, like proper beautiful ornate stars, because we're doodling, aren't we? So rather than make a big landscape, go to Africa or New Mexico or something like that, let's go back to the doodle-oodle, you know, the proper doodle-oodle. And so I thought, right, well, we're going to make some snowflakes and stars, and then we'll integrate them into baubles, because it's really nice, right? I've got some good ideas. Okay, so what you're going to download, see, in order to make a snowflake, I know, trippy, might make you a little bit dizzy. This is a hexagon, because snowflakes have 6 points. So I was trying to draw one, you know, and it was absolutely hopeless. If you haven't got a grid or a guide, it's really hard. It's not an 8-pointer, you see, it's a 6-pointer, which changes. So this is what we did yesterday. I was on the phone to Lucy and Jim, and they helped me out. So this is what we want you to download. Let me show you. Don't panic. We're going to get it to you one way or another. So what we need, look, I tell you what, never waste an opportunity. That's my middle name. It is a groovy plate. I said, Jim, while you're at it, turn it into a groovy plate for us, because this would be really, really useful. So he said, not a problem. So anyway, so you're going to get a digi-download. It's going to be a little bit thinner than this, of a hexagon with loads. This is like nested. If you're in the groovy, if you're in a Apache and you've got our nested squares or our nested circles, this is actually exactly, this will fit perfectly in the circle, except that it's double. So normally it's every other one, isn't it? I said to Jim, don't waste, go do loads. For the snowflakes, it'd be much easier. So rather than 2, so we got that one, and then I know, psychedelic. This one is brilliant, right, for the lines. So when you're making stars and that, you just trust me, you need both of those. So you download that one as well. And then we have 2 downloads of different shaped baubles. See, so what we're going to learn is how to do snowflakes and how to make beautiful stars, and then we're going to create baubles, and I'll show you how to create dimensions so that the baubles actually look round. Be really cool, really cool. Honest, I know. I don't want to give too much away, but I think you'll really enjoy it. And we may be doing this for a few days, because I was thinking we could do all sorts of different baubles, you know, beautiful, ornate, and well, maybe finish with a little landscape, who knows? Anyway, so the thing is that Stuart, who's in the building with you today, he's in charge of this, and he can either give you a link now to the downloads, or if you get the newsletter from us, then we'll send out a newsletter this afternoon. Stuart will do that, and he will add them in the newsletter, so you can print them out from your email. So if you don't get the newsletter yet, this is why. It's not so that we can stalk you. It's so that we can send you things that will be useful to you. All right? So this is where we're going. This is where we're heading. I think we'll enjoy it. That was what I was doing yesterday afternoon. Making stars and snowflakes. Snowflakes are fascinating. So I'm looking forward to that, very delicate. So it's Christmas, not Christmas, isn't it? Because I was reading your comments, and some of you want to do Christmas, some of you go, no, not yet. So I thought, all right, well, let's learn a technique. Let's learn a geometrical technique, because that can be applied to lots and lots and lots of things. But you need the download. And it's free. So that's that. Everybody happy? Come on, let's have a sip of tea, and then we'll get started on our lovely sky, okay? I think you should do a little bit of diet control every day. I do. It's good to have your company. It really is. On days like today, I find it especially good to have your company, if you understand me. Right. So let's have a look, because what I want to do, I definitely need some different glasses on. And what we want to do now is get all the bits together. Less is more today. Less is more today. Yesterday it was keep it in today, and today it's less is more. And I'm going to put a little message up there every single day we're in the SHAC. I should have started it 100 days ago. I love these stickers. Right, so what we're going to do is the background. And what we need, look, all tidy and sorted. Let's get a little bit of copy paper so we can see what we're doing. Here we are. And then we need our mix mat, don't we? Brushes. We need a couple of brushes, don't we? So I'm not using the green. I'm going to use the big ones. So I've got the larger, see, they've got larger, more for washes, aren't they? So I've got a blue one filled with water. I mean, you can use any brushes. You can use your paint, you know, any paint brushes you've got. Use anything your heart desires, whatever you've got. Look, I've got loads. I really do have a lot of kit. What's that one? B10. Oh, that's a buffer blending. Now we need the Alpha Aqua today. Right. And then I've got a clear one, a clean one. Right, so I've got those three. They're really good. I wouldn't sell them if they weren't good. And then we need a bit of paper, look, paper towel. This is what happens. We're still going to the wholesaler. It's all right, works for me. Still using yogurts like that, but it's good gear. Right, so we're going to use a little bit of paper towel as well, or a tissue, whatever you got. Paper towel's good. And rather than scrunch it like that, because you can't see what you're doing when you do that, just fold it, and then that way, when you want to lift colour, you see, you can just do that, and you can see exactly where you're going, rather than boff, you take the lot off. So let's just have that ready at the ready, huh? And one thing that you do need to know is if you were doing this on watercolour paper, you'd be able to lift it off much more easily than on these postcards. The postcards are great and they do the job. What they've done for us in the SHAC doesn't even, you know, it's amazing actually, because it's brought together a community of hundreds of people all singing off the same hymn sheet. So in that regard, it's brilliant. But they're not watercolour. However, they do take the watercolour, but you can't lift it off quite as well. So if you were doing what we're going to do today on watercolour, you'd find it would work much better, okay? It would work better. But it doesn't mean you can't learn the technique on a postcard, all right? So what we want next in our, you need your watercolour pencils. You need your watercolour pencils. So if you've got your pergoliners, we're going up the, because we're always down the B end, aren't we, but for blending, we're going A for aqua now. And what we're going to use is a blue and a pinky colour. And I'll show you. It's the, funny enough, I've gone to the A4, the real dark one. It's not the turquoisey blue, it's the real dark one. Now I'm going to make a suggestion here, because I don't know which blues you used for your blue tits. Now because I used my polychromos, I used the purpley blues. Now you may have gone with the turquoisey blues in your pergoliners. If you did do that, then go to the turquoisey blues in your pergoliners in the aqua, up the aqua end. I've gone more for the purplier blue. See, I'm going for the purpley one because I want it to kind of tie in with the birds. Do you see what I mean? What we used in the front, we're going to use in the back. It just creates a tone in tone. You don't even realise it, but it's easy on the eye. That's all it is. So I've looked for the colour that's closest to the colour I used in the front, and it's definitely in my pergoliners it's A4, and then the peachy colour for the flowers we did, didn't we? We used the A10, that fleshy pinky colour, light colour. So those are the two that I'm going to use for the sky. It's a little bit different to when we were doing the leaves and the flowers. We were much more, we were very particular, weren't we? Very meticulous in our work, right? Whereas this is going to be more of a wash. So let's have a look. How close are we here? Perhaps we could come in a little closer so you can see better, shall we? Right, let's have a look. Okie dokie. Yeah, let's just go in that close. I want you to be able to see what I'm blending as well. Okay, that'll do. There you go. What's the time? It's not even 15:15 yet. How are you doing? Everybody happy? Well, happy's a state of mind. How are you doing? Let's just forget about everything else just for this hour, okay? And in this hour, we're in this lovely bubble. That's what we're doing. We're just in this lovely, colouring in, painty, arty, creative, safe, happy SHAC bubble. Me too. I'm in here with you. So what we want to do now is use our mix mat rather than, because we want this to be really light and washy, right? The last thing we can do, you cannot go like that and then hope that that's going to spread, right? So what we'll do is we'll make our palette here. And I'm going to put my blue over here, look, just scribble onto you. You can use anything, we've got them. We've got a mix mat. And the idea is, right, so you take your aqua water-soluble pencil. I'm going to use my blue. I'm going to use my pink over here. I'm just making a palette. That's all I'm doing. So I'm just dropping some pigment down. You can use anything that's got a bit of purchase, anything, bit of, you know, like the glass in your bathroom. Well, I hope you've got that sort of glass in your bathroom. Who am I to say? Right, so we're putting some pigment down like so, quite a lot, because we're going to make a wash. And then, did I tidy it away? No. I've got white as well. White's always good if you want to... See, you can lighten the colour by adding more water, which will dilute it, which will make it lighter, or you can add white to it, which will make it lighter too. So we'll put that, let's just put a little bit of white down here, just in case we think, oh no, it's a bit too dark, okay? Because I don't know what blue you're going for, you see, or I don't know, you might be going for a much darker. I don't recommend it. If you haven't got a pinky colour, then use white to get the blotches, yeah, to get the patchy sky. See how close I can get. Let me see if I can get in tight. There. So just let your eyes rest on the background, and you'll see there are little patches of. You see, like, I love that sort of colour sky. You know, when you sometimes you get, it's almost celestial, where you get that beautiful peachy cloud rather than a white cloud. Let's have a look, see if we can do it. And this is a practice, remember? This is just, what we're doing here is just having a practice. So I'm going to make a puddle with my brush. Right, that will do. So I've got some, and what I'm going to try and do is keep the blue for the blue and I'm going to keep the peachy colour for the peach, the blue for the blue. And I've got a clean one, a really big clean one, just in case. I don't know, it's just because I thought it would be useful. It might come in handy, right? Right, so we've got blue water. Let's do this. Okay, right, here we go. See, this is what I like about these, is that you've got your automatic water dispenser in your hand. Right, let's take another bit of paper towel. And, oh, sorry. I just caught the microphone. Right, so let's dissolve. Let's just make a really nice, there you go. Nice wash. See, the thing about having a mix mat like this, or anything, like a sheet like this, it's like having it's great because what it does is, it gives you like a palette, like a colour palette. Right, let's get these two, I'm blending them together like that. And if I think it's too watery, I can always go in, can't I, and do another layer. But as I was saying, less is more. So you want to kind of, so I've got my blue and I've got my, quite watery, I have to say, Barbara. So let's give it another, what I'm doing here is just putting a little bit more pigment in. So what we're doing is using the pencils more like pigment applicator sticks. There you go. I just made that up, but you understand. That'll do nicely. Thank you very much. That'll be a nice wash. Okay, and I'm using my copy paper, you know, hop, skip, jump and all that. How are you doing? Are you joining me? Who's actually joining in with me on this one? Hey? Who's joining in? Right, I think we're ready to rock and roll. So I've got that. What happens if I come over here? Okay. So what we're going to do, first of all, Dame Edna's at the ready, so I can actually see what I'm doing. And so is this wet? Oh, it's lovely. It's nice and it's just a little bit damp, the clean one. See, because here's the thing. Let's do it down the bottom. If I would try this, if you just take the clean one and add a little bit of water in this area. This is real trad watercolour. Okay, let's do this. So if you add a little bit of clear water, no colour at here, it's got nothing to do with what we've just done. This is the third one that I said would come in handy. Okay, and then you've got, every now and again, you've got to hold it to the light. If the water, if it's, let's have a look. Let me make a little puddle on my hand because it's soaking it up so quickly that you can't. This is called a glaze in watercolour, right? And if I put this down like so, a little bit of water. If this was watercolour paper, my point is this would go like, it would be much better, right? But it's not. But then when I add my blue, let's add a bit of blue, hop, skip, jump. And then when I add the blue and I come in here, of course it's a bit wet grey, what you'll find is when you wet the paper a little bit first, very wet, just push it around, right? Just do this a little bit, just push it around a bit. Okay, this is a bit too wet here, so that's where this comes in, right? Let's just pop, right, that's it, just, and don't forget that it dries a lot lighter than it is because this is really diluted watercolour. This looks a bit dark at the moment, but it will come good, right? And then what I want to do is take my peachy one. Let's take my peachy colour. Can you actually see what I'm doing here? And I'm going to bring the peach in as well. And I'm bringing the peach in to meet the blue. So we'll just bring some of that lovely peachy colour in and bring it in over the top, like so. So if this was watercolour paper, see, this would work a lot better. But it's good enough. And when it dries really well. Okay. Take your other colour. Let's go in again with the really washy blue. Get rid of more though. I did too much to start with. You always test it on a bit of paper really grey, you know that. Right. So then you go in like that. Get your colour, move it round, right, and then use your peachy one to move it round a bit. That's a good idea as well. See? So use your peachy one to shuffle the blue around. And it looks a lot patchier here than it will do when it's dried. Okay? Don't think that for a minute it's going to look this patchy. It just looks like that because it's wet. Okay? I could disappear now for a couple of minutes and go and hairdry it, and then you would see that it isn't half as bad as that. Because otherwise, if it was that dark, you wouldn't even see the bird. So that's why it needs to be a lot lighter than that, okay? By the time we're finished, that'll have dried. And then we'll just blot it a bit, because I'm not happy with that bit. But it'll dry all right. Just keep saying it'll dry lighter, it'll dry lighter. You know, I said less is more. What I meant is less is more. It's all right. I've done my best one already. It's all right. It'll dry lighter. Just keep believing it. So what did we learn there? We learned, right, not to use so much. Right, but the bottom bit's beautiful. Right, rule number one, right, this is so crucial when you're doing this stuff. Do not take yourself too seriously, okay? Hey, do you remember I said about, right, this is a good one. We need a little puddle of, no, like water with a bit of white. Let's just add a little bit of white, just so. Right, so that one's the Hoover, the mop-up one. If we need a bit of, you know, it's a bit slow off the mark there. The only reason that you've got to be, if you can do it on this postcard, if you can get that blending on this postcard, then wow, wait till you get onto the watercolour paper. Oh, it'll be a piece of cake. Right, so let's use some blue again. It's just a little bit dark, Barbara. I'm watering it right down now, having had the less is more learning experience. Hey, who said there are experts? Did I ever tell you that there was any experts in this building? There are no experts in this building, remember? Right, let's just come in here now. There you go. It's just basically stained water at this stage. All right, let's mop it up. Nice. Right, that'll do. Blot. Bit of pink. Can always add it, but you can't take it away, remember? That'll do. Okay. Bit of blue here. We've got some experts, but I'm not one of them. It's all right, though. I'm a good bus driver. Right. Hoover up that colour. Hoover up that blue. And then dab it lightly. So you can sound as if you know what you're doing, can't you? Look, it's actually beautiful. See, I told you it would lighten up. Oh, ye of little faith. Hey, didn't I say that it was going to get better? See? Told you. Phew. That's just going to look lovely. Right, here we go. Bit of pink over the top of that. Hey, this could be my masterpiece. I could sell this on Etsy. Oh, crikey. Right, I'm going to put a bit of pink in there because that's definitely in the back. I'm not going to worry about blue. Okay. I'm going to have to lie down in a dark room when this is over. Okay, next bit. Let's just leave that for a minute. I'm tempted to run over to the... No, just let it air dry. Don't be impatient, Gray. How's yours going? Come on, let's have a cup of tea. Rule number 154. Don't sweat the small stuff. That's key. We mustn't take ourselves so seriously, you know. And also, I think we crafters, we tend to do that, don't we? We're so self-deprecating. Oh, this is rubbish and that's rubbish and this ain't working. Actually, we're getting a lot better, I think, in the SHAC at kind of just going with the flow, don't you? You know? Oh, that'll help. Take your eye out, Gray. Yeah, it's going to be lovely when it's done. It's quite dark under his wing, but it would be, wouldn't it? Right, so this time what we'll do is we'll go in with the pink first, and we'll go in the air. Oh no, pressure. Come on, it's a postcard with a bit of water. Right, so I'm going to go in this area here now, and I'm just going to add a little bit of pink. So you go from one extreme to the other, Gray. First you can't, it's like a tidal wave coming in, and the next minute you can't even see it. Right, there we go, a bit of pink in there. Lovely little bit of pink. We can do this thing. Right. Da-dun, da-dun, da, da-dun, da-dun, da. Right, bit of blue, I think. Let's have a bit of blue. Yeah, that's a more of a colour. Do you see? Isn't it? Blot it though, so it doesn't override. There you go. Round we go. Just push it round. Can you see what I'm doing? I can. There you go. Push it round. And then you see when you blot it at different level. You get that patchy look. See how it's coming now? Nice. Okay. It does work. I think what's key is that we just enjoy it. There you go. And don't get despondent if it doesn't work first time. There you go, that's nice. Likes. Put a bit of blue in where you want a bit of shade. And then a little bit of pink. A bit of contrast. Nice celestial skies. Lovely. If you used watercolour on your flowers, you see, before, you kind of need to be a little bit careful around the edge because all of a sudden your flowers are going to drag along with you. Yeah, but that's okay. And we're just swapping in and out like this, look. It's all right. Once you get your eye in, I find, don't you? Once you get your eye in, there's a bit of shadow, bit of, look, nice. Whee! Jasper, Jasper. I don't think so, matey. Right, so that slowed me down. Okay, just a quick break here while we decide what to do with Jasper. I did have I got a cup or something? Oh, I've just put all the glasses downstairs. Oh, this is one of those magic moments. Where's he gone? Oh, he's there, okay. Right, hang on a minute. I don't want to kill him. No, I don't want to kill him. Let me just get rid of that lot. Come on, Jasper. Look, how can I paint with you on there? Crikey, Mikey. Go on, off you go. Bugger off. Go. Oh, he's hanging on. Right. Well, there you go. There's nothing like a bit of live entertainment, is there? I wonder if he brought any of his friends in. I deliberately closed the window. Jasper! We had that code word yesterday, didn't we? Right, okay. Dave, if you're watching, the wasps are still there. Good. So much for my look at my this is my sorting out sorted. Yeah, never mind. I was gonna do the old cup trick, but then I didn't. Right. Everybody happy? Everybody okay? Right. Kermit. Good. Now where were we? Oh, lovely skies. Isn't nature wonderful, boo-boo? Right, here we go. He just wanted to be in on the act. Hey. Right, let me just get my bits together again. I'm going to put a little bit more, she said, recollecting. Right. Put a bit more pink in the sky, I think. A bit more pink, I think. Right, let's add a little bit of water. Get a bit more of that going. It really is a wash, isn't it? It's a wash. But did enough make a lovely sky, don't you find? There you go. So we've got that one. We've got this one. Hop, skip, jump. Let's put a little bit of... When we went down the woods the other day, we were listening, you know, we were playing a listening game, because it really gets so loud with all the, when you actually stop to listen, it's amazing the sound in the woods, the birds and the just the wind in the trees. It's very, very, very very loud, actually, if you stop long enough to listen. Anyway, so Dave and I, we were listening carefully. And then I said, hang on, that doesn't sound so good. And it was a real, like a swarm, you know. I said to Dave, that's a swarm of wasps or bees, isn't it? And we definitely picked up our pace while we were walking. We sure did pick up the pace, because they were right overhead. You could so hear them. Right, here we go. So we're just adding a little, I did a bit of pink, you see, and now I'm just going in with a flash of that blue over the top. And yeah, see how you can pick up the, don't worry about if it looks patchy, it won't when it all dries off. And if it does, it does. So we get patchy skies, don't you? Doesn't that look good though? There you go. When that dries, that'll be smashing. How many more times is she going to say that, Mum? It's very difficult to do this when you're laughing. Right, here we go. How's your sky coming along? Paul's doing an ODS tomorrow on telly. He's doing it all by himself. Brilliant. What would I do without that man? He starts at 6 o'clock in the evening. Because it's dyes, he's really good with dyes. He's a real paper engineer. I think that comes from years and years of working with lovely Wendy Stenton, you know. He just has an eye for that kind of thing. And so I said, you know, you're a natural, you do it. But he really is. He's so good at that stuff. So I said, you do it, Paul, you do it. And he volunteered, actually. Because he is good at that stuff. He can see things that I don't see. And I appreciate that. You know. So we're getting that lovely patchiness going. Is it working? It was working for me. There. Doesn't that look lovely? It's even better than I anticipated. So there's not much, I haven't got much colour on there now. Just sweeping it through. Doesn't that look cool, eh? A little bit of a flash of blue and a little bit of a flash of peach. And as we get a bit closer to the sky, yeah, there you go. I've got to make it a bit lighter. It's all right, isn't it? Eh? Here we go. Yeah, so he starts at 6 o'clock tomorrow evening. So he's busy at work at the moment. I'm going to go in after we've finished here and give him a hand. Just prepping and that. I think at least I'll offer her. I can offer her to make tea or something, can't I? I think it's better off without me, to be fair. Right, where's that clear one? I'm going to try a little bit of clear. Here we go. That's better. It's because I'm a lefty, everything seems to migrate to the left. I'll do a bit of clear on there. I wonder if that'll get rid of that stripe. Let's have a go. Be good to try this on watercolour, wouldn't it? I've just had an idea. I wonder if it would work. I wonder. I'm just putting down a little bit of water first. Then I'm going to go with the peachy colour. Just add a little bit of that, just a flash of that through there. And then I'm going to go with the blue, but watered right down. Watered right down. Yeah, come on then. In we go. It's just a bit of patchy blue. That's there. I'm going to have to put a bit of shade in there. That'll look nice. It'll look good when it's done. When it's dried. There you go. Yeah. Right. And then, yeah, tomorrow I've got the dentist. I haven't been for ages. She said, yes, it's about time you came in to see us. You haven't been to see us since January. And I was thinking, oh, here we go. January 2019. I thought, wow, really? How remiss of me. How remiss of me. How could I forget to go to the dentist? So that's what I've got to do tomorrow. When I leave here, I've got to shoot to there, and then, all things being equal, I'm hoping to get to pottery. Depends. Depends what the dentist does to me, doesn't it? I'm not a big fan of the dentist, I have to be honest. He's not my favourite person. I mean, he's all right. It's just what he does to me is not very good. How's yours looking? Have you cracked it? See, and then when it's dried, you can go again if you feel inclined. And you can add a little bit more. I would be tempted to go in with a little bit more of the peachy colour, actually. But it looks quite good, doesn't it? Stay there a minute. I'm going to see if I can... Well, where are you going? Don't go anywhere. I'm just... I wonder if I plug this in, if it will reach. Could do. Could do. Without pulling it out the wall. Let's see what happens if we dry it, shall we? Oh, hairdryer would do the job. But most of us got one of these, haven't we? I'll do it from the back. You all right? I reckon. Bit patchy down the bottom. Thing is, if you rush it like this, not rushing, but I wanna see how light it gets, really, don't you? And also, if you want to add another layer, of pigment or colour or water, you really ought to wait until it's dry before you do that. That'll do. I'll plug it out. Just let me pull it out the wall. Good practice and all that, eh? One of my dear friends, Lynn Brown. You might know Lynn. She's great. Works with Paper Artsy, or she did. Smashing woman. She had a shop near Stevenage. I love her to bits. She's a really, really good mate. And I remember she went to work one day. She went to work, and when she came home, she had a craft room upstairs, and the dog, poor thing, it had knocked. It had gone in her art room. She hadn't unplugged that thing. It had knocked the heat gun off the side, and it had knocked it on, the switch on, and she came home, and when she opened the door, fire. Yeah, big time. Big time. Shocking. I'll show you a beautiful piece of artwork that Lynn did for me. So beautiful. Look, 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 look. Isn't that gorgeous? That is what you call beautiful mixed media. It's a quilt. It's a little quilt. Look. Isn't that superb? Hey? Isn't that wonderful? Using our stamps. Isn't that lovely? Yeah. Create art every day. It's good for the soul. Yes, it is. So that's my loveliness up there. Cool, it's all action here today, isn't it? A bit of movement. Now I've lost weight, I've got I can move around more. Right, come on, let's have a look at this thing. What's the time? Oh no, it can't be 1:45 already. Right, let's have a look. Glasses, grey. Yeah, see, it's lightened up now. Nice, huh? Cool. Bit weird down the bottom there where I started, and that was because I put too much down first. So what did we say? Less is more. Less is more, grey. I'm going to put that there to remind me. There you go. Less is more. Cover it up with a sticker. No, I'm only joking. It's fine. What we can do now, because that's at the bottom, let's have a little go at that. Actually, that goes in my little book. Okay. See what we can do here now, because it's a bit patchy around the edges. All we're going to do, let's see if we can correct it. Like I say, I'm no expert, but I've got an idea that this could, you can just add a bit more around here. Okay, just to tie that colour in, isn't it? That's all, so it's not a big patch around the edge. There we go. Just come in like that. Easy. Just bring a little bit of shadow in, isn't it? There you go. Just come in like so. That'll work. In fact, yeah, if you took a bit of that dark colour, the darker colour now, you could see if this will work. If I come in like so, just right, in we go. Bit of shadow, hey? There we are. Who says? Nice. So now you get in, you can tease into the, yeah, that looks so good, you know. Right. But like I used to go to Billy Shoal's lessons, and I think I've told you this before. She always used to say, right, put the paintbrush down now. No, she says, let the artwork relax now, Barbara. When I was trying to fiddle or make good something that wasn't working very well, she'd say, right, let the artwork relax now, Barbara. That's it, Barbara. You know, and then I'd still be fiddling, and then eventually she'd say, put the bloody paintbrush down. Oh, okay. She's great. If you get a chance, look up Billy Shoal. She does botany. She's absolutely spectacular. She's the originator. You will have seen people who make flowers out of shoes and that. Hers is the original. Oh, it is superb. I've got a couple of originals actually that I bought, invested in the house. I ought to show you them, but I'm worried that I'll never get them back on the wall. Just incredible. Look up Billy Shoal. Shoal as in shovel, but with a W. I think she's got 2 L's at the end. Anyway, it will pop up, and she's a watercolour artist, but her work is superb. I might dig out a few bits to show you, but look for her shoes. Look for her shoes. She's lovely, lovely. She lives in Tunbridge Wells, only up the road. Nice lady. She does online classes as well. If you're into proper, like, beautiful botanicals, she's your girl. And she's also like the chairman of the Royal whatever Society of Botanical Artists. Oh yeah, no, she's top banana. Really good. Right, so I think, what's the time? I know it's a little bit early today, but I don't want to over-egg it. I don't want to over-egg it. I don't want to keep going and then wish I had stopped earlier, if you know what I mean. So we'll leave it there. You know, we'll leave it there. Let's put our lids on. We'll put our lids on. We learned how to do a wash. We also learned how not to do a wash. Don't you find? I find when I do something wrong, I learn a lot more from when I get it wrong than when I get it right. I do. And because I remember it. You know, if I make a holy mess out of something, I know exactly what not to do the next time. Right, so, and the interesting thing about this is, of course, if I wanted to, I could just leave that. I could leave that now, and then the next time, I could go back to that in a year's time and reactivate that with water. So I don't have to wash it or clean it, except that I've only got one mix mat. So unfortunately I do, because I just want to clean it off. And then, of course, the evidence of what I've used is gone. Okay, because I've cleaned it. If that's the case, then it's an old, but it's a good trick. Because if you do this, right, you do your piece of artwork and then you think, I want to repeat it. And then you can't remember what colours. It's always the same, isn't it? So what you want to do is take your pencil. I mean, this is a little bit blunt now, but you get the picture. And what I would do is just write on the back, A4, seriously, A4, sounds like a motorway. What's this one? A10, another motorway. Right? And then I know, I've written right, A4 and A10. I know which pencils I've got. And similarly, for the birds, I would write down whichever pencils that I've put back in the tin now. But I do know which ones they were. They were those two. Aquamarine, wasn't it? God, I tell you what. Dentist this week, opticians next week, I think. Ultramarine. There you go. So then I'll just write 140 and 120. See, and that's because they'd be the ones that I would wonder, what did I use? I put it back in the right order. But it's a really good, it's a top tip to just write on the back so that I know exactly what I've used in my artwork. And then I'll do the same thing for the yellow and all the different colours, so that I've got a code. And when I go to repeat it, or I want to use this colour tone, this combination, I'd like to do the geisha. Say we doodle the geisha, you know, from the SHAC earlier on in the year. And I say, I really would love to draw the geisha's dress in this, I'd like to get this colour tone, right? But what colours did I use? Oh yeah, I remember now. So it's just a top tip. It's always good for those of you who are new to the fold. 100 hours on Friday. 100 hours on Friday. You're going to get a cake. I'm going to put a nice top on as well. Special occasion. And tomorrow we're going to start at 10 o'clock. We're going to start with snowflakes and stars. But first of all, it's about getting used to how to use that hexagon as your guide. So you do need the download, okay? And mañana, tomorrow, we're going back to pencils, okay? So the only thing you're going to need is that guide, the download that Stuart's going to help you get hold of. Sign up for the newsletter and it'll automatically arrive. You need a pencil, HB pencil, and a ruler. I'm going to use the Pergamano ruler because I could use whatever ruler I've got. I might use this one. Use a ruler. Pergamano ruler. I tell you why I like the Pergamano ruler, because you can see where the middle is. There's a point in the middle of the ruler that shows you equidistance from the centre. Quite a long word, isn't it? Right, so there you go. That brings us to the end, the logical end of our lovely blue tits. Hasn't it been great in the garden? Have you enjoyed it? I certainly have. I've really, yeah, it's been good. And I still want to take the blue tits. I'm not finished yet. I still want to do a monochrome on those. I want to get my pencils and just do that in grayscale. I think that'd look really lovely. I've got something, maybe with a little flash of peach. But it's time, isn't it? It's time. For me, I'm trying to run a company at the same time, you know, and I fluctuate between, oh, I should be there, I should be here. And then I think, no, I'm here. It's all right. I'm here. I've got good people at work. They can handle the day-to-day stuff. And believe you me, I'm on the phone all the time. So, but I'm going in now. So Stuart, I'll be there in about half an hour. Thank you so much for joining me. And I hope you enjoyed that. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. Do load your masterpieces up onto Clarity Worldwide so that we can applaud your work. There's nothing like a pat on the back. You know, there's nothing like a pat on the back for firing somebody on. Is there? Hey? So load up your artwork and I promise you, you'll get lots of pats on the back. They're a smashing crowd over on Clarity Worldwide. So lots of love to you, and I'll see you tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. Get your downloads. Bye-bye now, and thanks, Stuart.